Welcome to the third lecture on fluid properties. This is from the lecture series on fluid mechanics. In this session, we will discuss some numerical problems which are the typical applications of Newton's law of viscosity. The first problem is this one. If the velocity distribution over a plate is given by u is equal to 2 by 3 y minus y square, in which u is the velocity in meter per second at a distance y meter above the plate, determine the shear stress at y is equal to 0 and at y is equal to 0.15 meter. Take dynamic viscosity of the fluid over the plate as 8.63 poise. The velocity profile given is u is equal to 2 by 3 y minus y square. Consider this diagram. We have already considered this kind of velocity distribution when we discussed the fluid property in the previous lecture. Now consider the given velocity distribution over the plate. U is equal to 2 by 3 y minus y square. This is a second degree expression which we call quadratic expression. We know that the graph of the quadratic expression is parabolic. So if you plot the velocity profile for the given case, after considering a plate and over which you have a fluid, and you are trying to plot the velocity distribution of the fluid across a vertical section, and you will get a parabola like this. So at y is equal to 0, that means the fluid layer closest to the plate, there you have velocity is equal to 0, because when you substitute y is equal to 0 in the given expression, you will get u is equal to 0. And as you go vertically up, then the velocity will increase, and that is given by this quadratic expression. And in our present case, we have to find the shear stress acting on two layers. One is at y is equal to 0, that means the bottommost layer, and the other one is at a layer which is at y is equal to 0.15 meter, 15 centimeters above the plate. So what we will do is, we will try to find out the velocity gradient du by dy from the given expression for velocity. In order to find the shear stress on different fluid layers, we can now use Newton's law of viscosity. Tau is equal to mu into du by dy. And the given expression is u is equal to 2 by 3 y minus y square. So if we get the velocity gradient on a particular layer, then we can find out the shear stress acting on that fluid layer. So du by dy at y is equal to 0, we have to find first. So du by dy is equal to, you take the derivative of 2 by 3 y, that is 2 by 3 itself, and you take the derivative of y square, that is 2y. So therefore du by dy is equal to 2 by 3 minus 2y, and substitute y is equal to 0 over there. Then in that case, you will get the velocity gradient at y is equal to 0. So therefore, when you substitute y is equal to 0 in the expression for the velocity gradient, you will get du by dy is equal to 2 by 3. The unit of velocity gradient is per second. Then shear stress at y is equal to 0. What you should do is, the dynamic viscosity mu multiplied by the velocity gradient at y is equal to 0 you should take. The dynamic viscosity is given as 8.63 poise, and we have to convert that into SI unit. So 1 poise is equal to 1 by 10 Newton second per meter square. Therefore 8.63 poise is equal to 8.63 divided by 10 Newton second per meter square, or Pascal second. So mu is equal to 0.863, that you should substitute over here. So shear stress at y is equal to 0 is equal to 0.863 multiplied by the velocity gradient at y is equal to 0, which is 2 by 3. So you will get 0.5753 Newton per meter square. That is the shear stress acting on the fluid layer closest to the plate where y is equal to 0. Now we consider the second case. At y is equal to 0.15 meter, that is 15 centimeters above the plate, you consider a fluid layer and you have to find the shear stress acting on that layer. So how do you find out? You have to find the velocity gradient at y is equal to 0.15 meter. So that is equal to the expression for du by dy is 2 by 3 minus 2y. You substitute y is equal to 0.15 meter. So you will get 2 by 3 minus 2 into 0.15, which is equal to 0.3667 per second. Then shear stress acting on that layer can be found out by mu into du by dy at y is equal to 0.15. That is, mu is 0.863 Pascal second multiplied by the velocity gradient at that layer is 0.3667 per second. So if you multiply, you will get 0.3165 Newton per meter square or Pascal. So we found out the shear stress acting on the two fluid layers, one at y is equal to 0, which is 0.5753 Newton per meter square, and the second layer at a distance of 15 centimeters above the plate, that is 0.15 meter above the plate, where the shear stress is 0.3165 Newton per meter square. Now consider the second numerical problem. Calculate the dynamic viscosity of an oil which is used for lubrication between a square plate of size 0.8 meter by 0.8 meter and an inclined plane with an angle of inclination 30 degrees. The weight of the square plate is 300 Newton and it slides down the inclined plane with a uniform velocity of 0.3 meter per second. The thickness of oil film is 1.5 millimeters. Now consider this diagram. You have the square plate above the inclined plane and an oil is used for lubrication between the square plate and the inclined plane, and the angle of inclination is 30 degree. Now we consider the 2D sketch of the situation given in the problem. Here we have the inclined plane inclined at an angle 30 degrees to the horizontal. We have the square plate, and in between the square plate and the inclined plane we have the oil film of thickness y is equal to 1.5 mm. And we have to find the dynamic viscosity of the oil used for lubrication between the square plate and the inclined plane. And for that purpose we have to use Newton's law of viscosity. Tau is equal to mu into du by dy, and dynamic viscosity mu is equal to tau divided by du by dy. Du by dy is the velocity gradient. And in order to find the shear stress in this case, we have to find the shear force acting here on the fluid layer, that is the oil in this case. So if you consider this diagram and find the component of the weight along the inclined plane, so you can see that W sin theta is the component of weight that is acting along the plane. If you resolve W into two components, one along the inclined plane and one normal to the inclined plane, so we will have W sin theta and W cos theta. W cos theta is the component normal to the inclined plane, whereas component of the weight of the square plate along the inclined plane is W sin theta. In fact, W sin theta is responsible for the motion of the square plate down the plane. Please note that W sin theta, the component of weight along the inclined plane, is responsible for the motion down the plane, whereas W cos theta is responsible for keeping the square plate or holding the square plate on the inclined plane as it slides down. So shear stress tau is equal to shear force by area, and shear force in this case, as I told you, that is W sin theta. So W is 300 sin theta, here theta is 30 degree, so 300 into sin 30 is 0.5 divided by area of the square plate is having side 0.8 meter. So therefore the area is 0.8 into 0.8, that is 0.64 meter square. So therefore shear force divided by shearing area, that is area of the plate in contact with the oil film, in this case that is 0.64 area of the plate itself. So we found out shear stress as 234.375 Newton per meter square or Pascal. Now the velocity gradient is equal to du by dy. Du is equal to u minus 0. This means the oil layer closest to the inclined plane which is stationary is having 0 velocity, and the oil layer which is closest to the sliding plate, that is having the same velocity as that of the sliding plate, which is 0.3 meter per second in this case. So therefore the velocity variation or change in velocity which this oil film undergoes in this small gap of 1.5 mm, the du is equal to u minus 0, and dy for the gap, that distance is y minus 0, that is y itself. So here the velocity gradient du by dy is u by y. So that is equal to 0.3 divided by the distance in meters, 0.0015, that is 1.5 mm converted into meters. So 0.3 meter per second divided by 0.0015 meter, so you will get the velocity gradient du by dy, which is equal to 200 per second. So this is the velocity gradient, and we have already found out the shear stress 234.375 Newton per meter square. Now we can substitute in this expression for Newton's law of viscosity. Tau is equal to mu into du by dy, and mu is equal to tau divided by du by dy. So shear stress by velocity gradient, and therefore the mu is equal to shear stress 234.375 divided by velocity gradient 200. So you'll get 1.1718 Newton second per meter square, or Pascal second, that is SI unit of dynamic viscosity. So here the dynamic viscosity of oil used for lubrication between the square plate and the inclined plane is equal to 1.1718 Newton second per meter square, or in poise, if you convert, that will be 11.718 poise, because 1 Newton second per meter square is equal to 10 poise. So 1.1718 Newton second per meter square is equal to 11.718 poise. Our next numerical problem. In a stream of glycerin in motion, at a certain point the velocity gradient is 0.25 per second. If for the fluid the density is 1268 kilogram per meter cube and kinematic viscosity is 6.3 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter square per second, calculate the shear stress at the point. Here the velocity gradient at a point in the flow that is available, du by dy is equal to 0.25 per second, and we have to find out the shear stress at the point where the velocity gradient is available. So shear stress at that point, tau is equal to mu into du by dy, applying Newton's law of viscosity. So we require the dynamic viscosity of glycerin along with the velocity gradient available over here. So if you take the product, you will get the shear stress at that point. Now, how to get the dynamic viscosity of glycerin? Kinematic viscosity is available here, 6.3 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter square per second. We know that kinematic viscosity nu is equal to dynamic viscosity divided by mass density of the fluid. Dynamic viscosity mu therefore is equal to the product of kinematic viscosity and mass density. So mu is equal to rho into nu. So here the density rho is given 1268 kilogram per meter cube. Kinematic viscosity nu is equal to 6.3 into 10 raised to minus 4 meter square per second. So you take the product of the two, you will get the dynamic viscosity mu. So mu is equal to 1268 multiplied by 6.3 into 10 raised to minus 4. So you will get dynamic viscosity of glycerin is equal to 0.79884 Newton second per meter square, or Pascal second. So now you just substitute in this expression for shear stress. Tau is equal to mu into du by dy. So mu is equal to 0.79884, then into velocity gradient is 0.25. So you will get 0.1997 Newton per meter square. So shear stress at the point concerned is equal to 0.2 approximately Newton per meter square, that much Pascal. So it's a problem of direct substitution. Our next problem. The space between two square flat parallel plates is filled with oil. Each side of the plate is 60 centimeters. The thickness of the oil film is 12.5 mm. The upper plate, which moves at 2.5 meter per second, requires a force of 98.1 Newton to maintain the speed. Determine the dynamic viscosity of the oil and the kinematic viscosity of the oil if the specific gravity of the oil is 0.95. So here we have a case similar to the one which we discussed when we defined viscosity and illustrated Newton's law of viscosity. So you consider two plates, one is stationary and the other one is moving, and a force of 98.1 Newton is required to move it at a constant velocity of 2.5 meter per second. So therefore the force required to maintain the uniform motion for the upper plate, that is also available. This is a case of one dimensional parallel flow. Here we have the two parallel plate, one is stationary and the other one is moving, as you can see in this diagram. Here this area, the lower plate is stationary, upper plate is moving, and the area of the plate is 0.6 into 0.6, that is 0.36 meter square, that is 60 centimeter side. So convert that into meters and you will get area in side into side, that is 0.36 meter square. Now consider the data. The force which we apply is 98.1 Newton on the upper plate to maintain the constant velocity of 2.5 meter per second. And the specific gravity of the oil in between the plates, that is undergoing the velocity gradient, that is specific gravity is 0.95. And now from the specific gravity you can find out the density of the oil. So density of the fluid, we know that it is equal to specific gravity multiplied by density of water. So density of oil in this case is equal to 0.95 into 1000. So you will get density of oil used in the context is 950 kilogram per meter cube. So we got density. Now the distance between the two plates is 12.5 mm. So converting into meters, so you will get 0.0125 meters. So we have to find out the velocity gradient now. We know that the lower plate is stationary and the upper plate is moving. So therefore du by dy, change in velocity is u minus 0, and the change in distance for the distance from 0 to y. So y minus, this is actually y minus 0, it's not y equal to 0. So du by dy is equal to u minus 0 divided by y minus 0. So that is equal to u divided by y, that is equal to 2.5 divided by 0.0125. So you will get du by dy as 200 per second. This is the velocity gradient which this fluid layer undergoes. So 200 per second is the velocity gradient. Now we will find out the shear stress now. So the shear stress tau is equal to mu into du by dy. So we have here the force available to maintain the constant speed that is actually causing the shearing effect. So therefore the shear force now, or the viscous resistance, that F is equal to 98.1 Newton divided by area, that is area of the plate 0.36 meter square. So therefore shear stress, you can get shear force by shearing area. So 98.1 divided by 0.36, you will get 272.5 Newton per meter square or Pascal. So the dynamic viscosity of the oil is equal to shear stress divided by velocity gradient. So 272.5 divided by 200, that is equal to 1.3625 Newton second per meter square or Pascal second. If you convert that into poise, so you will get 13.625 poise. Now the next part is kinematic viscosity. Kinematic viscosity is equal to dynamic viscosity divided by mass density. Nu is equal to mu divided by rho. So here dynamic viscosity is 1.3625 Newton second per meter square divided by mass density rho is 950 kilogram per meter cube. So you'll get 1.434 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter square per second. That is the SI unit of kinematic viscosity. If you find kinematic viscosity in CGS unit, if you convert, then you will get 14.34 centimeter square per second or Stokes. because 1 meter square per second is 10,000 centimeter square per second or 10,000 stock. Now the final numerical problem of the session: dynamic viscosity of oil used for lubrication between a shaft, that is also called a journal, and bearing is 6 poise. The shaft is of diameter 400 mm and rotates at 190 rpm. rpm means revolution per minute. Calculate the power lost in the bearing for 90 millimeters long journal bearing arrangement. Thickness of oil is 1.5 mm. See, consider this diagram. The outer part is called the sleeve, which is stationary, that is fixed one. And we have to consider a sleeve length of this much length of 90 millimeters. And a journal or a shaft is rotating inside the sleeve. And between the shaft and the sleeve we have the oil film for lubrication. And our effort is to find the power lost in the bearing for this arrangement. And power lost in the bearing means power absorbed by the oil due to the viscous resistance. So you consider the two-dimensional sketch now. So here we have the central shaft, which is also called journal, and diameter is 400 mm, and the journal or the shaft is rotating inside a sleeve. The sleeve is shown over here for a length of 90 mm, and the distance between the shaft and the sleeve, so that is filled with the oil, and that gap is only 1.5 millimeters. And rotational speed of the shaft in rpm, that is revolution per minute, is 190. So if the rotational speed in rpm is given, you can find out the angular velocity of the shaft. Angular velocity omega, you know that it is equal to 2 pi n by 60. So omega is equal to 2 pi into 190 rpm divided by 60. So angular velocity omega you will get as 19.897 radian per second. And now the diameter of the shaft is 400 mm, that is 0.4 meter, and rotational speed n is 190 rpm. The tangential speed of the shaft, that also you can find out. The tangential speed actually is angular velocity multiplied by the radius. So tangential speed u is equal to angular velocity omega multiplied by the radius, and radius is of course the diameter by 2. So if you substitute over here, omega is 2 pi n by 60 and r is d by 2, diameter by 2, then 2 and 2 will be cancelled. You will get u is equal to pi d n by 60. This is the peripheral or tangential speed of the shaft. So the fluid layer close to the shaft will be having this speed. So this tangential speed u is equal to pi d n by 60. So now you can calculate that. U is equal to pi into d, diameter is 0.4 meter, into 190 divided by 60. So you will get the tangential or peripheral speed of the shaft as u is equal to 3.9793 meter per second. Now we have to find out the velocity gradient. As in the previous cases, we find the velocity gradient. Remember, if you consider this small gap of 1.5 mm, the fluid layer which is closest to the shaft will be having the velocity u is equal to 3.9793, whereas the fluid layer which is very close to the or the closest to the sleeve surface, that will be having velocity equal to 0. So there is a velocity gradient. That velocity gradient we are going to find out. So du by dy, that is change in velocity, is u minus 0 divided by that distance is that thickness of the oil itself, that distance y, so over which this velocity variation takes place. So u minus 0 divided by y minus 0, that is u divided by y. So that is equal to 3.9793 divided by 0.0015. Please make sure that you substitute in SI units. Now the velocity gradient du by dy is equal to 3.9793 divided by 0.0015. So you will get the velocity gradient as 2653 per second. The dynamic viscosity of the lubricating oil, that is given as 6 poise. When you convert that into SI units, you will get 0.6 Newton second per meter square or Pascal second, because 1 poise is 1 by 10 Newton second per meter square. Now we are in a position to find out the shear stress. So shear stress tau from the Newton's law of viscosity, that is given by mu into du by dy, and the dynamic viscosity mu is 0.6 Newton second per meter square multiplied by the velocity gradient du by dy is 2653 per second. So if you multiply, you will get 1591.72 Newton per meter square or Pascal. This is the shear stress. We know that the shear stress is equal to shear force divided by area. Therefore, the shear force will be shear stress multiplied by the area. Shearing area A in this case is the surface area of the cylindrical shaft that is in contact with the oil for a sleeve length of 90 mm. Therefore, the shearing area in this case is equal to the curved surface area of the cylindrical shaft for a sleeve length of 90 mm. That you can find out by using the equation pi dl, curved surface area of the cylinder. So A is equal to pi dl, where the diameter is 0.4 meter and the sleeve length is 90 millimeter. When you convert that into meters, you get 0.09. So therefore, the shearing area will be pi into 0.4 into 0.09, that is equal to 0.1131 meter square. So you got the shearing area and the shear stress. So now we can find out the shear force. In fact, the shear force is the viscous resistance offered by the lubricating oil. So shear force is shear stress into area. So that is 1591.2 multiplied by 0.1131. So that you will get 179.96 Newton, approximately 180 Newton. Now we are in a position to find out the power lost due to viscous resistance or power absorbed by the lubricating oil. You have two options to find out the power. So either you can use viscous resistance multiplied by the tangential velocity of the shaft, or you can multiply the viscous torque and the angular velocity of the shaft. Both methods will lead to the same answer. So power lost, when you multiply the viscous resistance F, that is 179.96, by the tangential velocity of the shaft, that is 3.9793, so you will get 716.134 watts. What is the unit of power? The force here, the viscous resistance here is in Newton and U is in meter per second. Therefore, the product is in Newton meter per second. Newton meter is joules. Therefore, Newton meter per second is joule per second. Joule per second is watts. So, you will get the power lost because of the viscous resistance of the oil, or the power absorbed by the oil as 716.134 watts. The second option, power is equal to viscous torque multiplied by angular velocity. Already we have found out angular velocity as 19.897 radian per second by using omega is equal to 2 pi n by 60. So now viscous torque. Torque is equal to the tangential force, here the viscous resistance multiplied by the radius of the shaft. So the viscous resistance multiplied by the diameter by 2, and diameter is 0.4 meter. So the viscous torque T is equal to 179.96, that is the viscous resistance, multiplied by the radius, which is 0.2 meter. So you will get 35.99 Newton meter, almost 36 Newton meter. So if you multiply this viscous torque by the angular velocity 19.897, you are supposed to get the same power we got now, 716.134 watts. In fact, by solving these numerical problems, we were really demonstrating the applications of Newton's law of viscosity. With this, we wind up this lecture. Have a happy learning experience. Thank you so much.